And we are zooming in for you. So you see the heavily forested area around it, but then you have this small patch of settlements, a bit dispersed in the middle of the forest. And this area may be the area where the helicopter may have crashed.
Right.
Today. And Elton, you know this area. You know this general area, right?
You can say that.
You're not surprised that it's this heavily forested, right?
It is, and it's clearly a mining area as well. So you see a small community in the middle of a forest. That's at least according to Google Maps. That's what we are seeing. And even actually, the video in circulation, you will see that it actually fell into a forest. I mean, it came down with some trees as well, and then caught fire in the process. So the entire enclave is Adansi Akrofuom. But the exact spot, according to the information we are getting, is Adansi.
This is the area here that you're looking at from this Google Earth map. And the thing about it is, because it's heavily forested areas aren't good for helicopters.
No.
Because of the propellers. And so if a helicopter is going down and it's going down in a heavily forested area, it often doesn't end well. But
the thing is also that maybe they will provide more clarity on what may have happened.
Yeah.
Because this is quite far from where the program took place.
Okay.
Quite far, at least about 45 minutes to an hour drive from this place to Obuasi Township.
Okay.
So unless maybe a technical or a mechanical fault could be attributed to it, it will be difficult to understand why it came down at this particular area, which is about an hour drive from Obuasi. I mean, no activity happening here.
Yeah.
And yet this is the spot where the accident took place.
And that obviously is something we are watching very closely. And these rescue teams, by the way, a few additional videos that we are now getting, as you see, we don't know whether these are official rescue operators, but it looks like, and this tends to happen a lot.
Yeah, this looks like local area boys who are trying to help.
Yes, who are trying to cut their way into the forest and to try and rescue and get people out as much as possible. Now, in the age of social media and mobile phones, what you see is a lot of people there holding their phones and taking photos. And the thing that we're saying when this first broke is that if this really happened, and I was making that point to you, in today's age, we should see videos and pictures very quickly.
Right.
But it took quite some time to see the first pictures coming out. And now we understand when we look at the Google Earth map why this is the case, because it was heavily forested. To get to the scene of the crash itself will take time. And it's also very possible that the quality of your network, the cell towers in the area, will be difficult in establishing network coverage in the area. So even if you get to the site and you film anything, sending it back on WhatsApp will be difficult. So it took quite some time, about an hour or two, before we started seeing the first pictures emerge from our sister station, Adom, sending us that. But this is the area we are looking at, the Sikaman area in the Obuasi Ashanti Regional Enclave, where this plane helicopter may have gone down.
So, but like I said earlier on, I mean, there are so many questions that we want answers to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just asking myself, why this area?
Yeah.
When this place is quite far from Obuasi. So perhaps, I mean, a mechanical issue, a mechanical fault may be an issue, but the Ghana Armed Forces is not speaking to this matter as of now, because they themselves are unable to tell where the aircraft is.
Yeah.
But there is I know there is a military detachment at the Anglo Ashanti mines, which is also not far from. There is also a 4BN in Kumasi. It is almost an hour or two into this incident. So let's possibly wait a little while we hear the official account of what happened.
Okay, we'll come to eyewitnesses who may be giving us some clarity too on what they may have seen happen on the ground there. If you're just joining us right now, this is terrible news indeed, also because we're learning about new things all the time. We're now obviously getting a first-hand appreciation of what this area, this crash site may look like, heavily forested area. Always not good for helicopters. Even the best of helicopters sometimes get tangled once you sort of come too low or some mechanical fault has happened. But this also is an aircraft, a helicopter that has been in service with the Ghana Armed Forces for quite some time. As I've been explaining, the Z9 helicopter is Chinese made, but also some helicopters that we had acquired in the early 2010s as part of our efforts to safeguard our offshore assets when we began commercial production of oil. And so we have bought a few. At the time money was coming in, we could afford the helicopter, so we did. And I know the Ghana Armed Forces, they do not take the maintenance of their crafts for granted. And so we expected that this is a helicopter that indeed would have been heavily serviced and cleared to fly. But as you know, with machines, anything could go wrong. What we don't know is if anything had gone wrong as far as this helicopter is concerned, and we will be getting the very latest from this news conference that they will be addressed. And from everything that we've seen, it's very possible that the president himself, the commander-in-chief, will be addressing the country pretty shortly on this major incident that we are learning about as far as the helicopter is concerned. And by the way, as far as this helicopter is concerned, I've seen reports of its service record, right? And whether or not it may have been involved in incidents in the past, right? We'll try and get you that, because that gives us a sense of this, right? That gives us a sense of this in terms of what it has, the operations it may have embarked on in the past. And just so clarifying, I get a sense that it may actually have been involved in some incidents in the past. In the past. Yeah, that we need to obviously clarify.
There's this 2024, emergency landing. It's unclear whether it is the same aircraft involved.
Yeah, we can listen to one eyewitness who is sharing with us what he may have seen.
Emma wada hona ya kan de jadda ma ye ampa ye ko na play na hwe am be jadda mututu enipa be say na enipa ne de mintimi kan nipa do mo ne mo nipa ba ko pe enipa ba ko pe no ahwe na se a wahwe no kra de me ehu en se ne nsa ane ehu se enipa ana ne bum se ehu se enipa ana ne ti ba ne kan de ba ho nyina ahwe ada ha ye hefa sikama no ha ye sikama go fu Nobody is here and say, play the best. The tea and say, and you have been foolish. One of your fool. The tea and say, the tea and you said, play an actual. The tea will be here more dear. You can one. But my number was why I corona, and never about your friend, just here corona. And I mean, yeah, man, you have a boy, so I didn't count how to play the get the mind. The nipper about what you want. Emma wada hona ya kan de jadda ma ye ampa ye ko na play na hwe am be jadda mututu enipa be say na enipa ne de mintimi kan nipa do mo ne mo nipa ba ko pe enipa ba ko pe no ahwe na se a wahwe no kra de me ehu en se ne nsa ane ehu se enipa ana
Take it live now to Jubilee House. That's the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, addressing the country.
And sympathies to the families of our comrades, the servicemen who died in service to the country. All flags are to fly at half-mast until further notice. Thank you.